Welcome all, Dax here. I've been playing Mario Golf Super Rush for the last 2 weeks, and I wanted to share with you some of my opinions so you can determine whether or not it's worth your money. If you like my content and this video, I'd appreciate it if you left me a like. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the review. Like most games, the first thing you notice about Mario Golf Super Rush is the graphics, and in this case, that's not entirely a good thing. Many of the textures are rough around the edges in both the literal and figurative sense. I often felt like I was dusting off an old Wii from my closet to play this game. Now, am I exaggerating? A little bit, but not by much if I'm being honest. It's 2021, the Switch has been out for 4 years now, and a game that's as visual as this should be looking better than it does, especially when you take into consideration Mario Kart 8 originally came out on the Wii U in 2014. The animations fare a little better at first glance, but also struggle from a lack of polish, with much of the movement looking stiff and lifeless. The music and sound effects do work to create the right golfing mood without actually leaving any sort of lasting impression. The courses themselves do have an overall look and style that mix well together in the traditional Mario fashion. You'll find Pokies wandering throughout the desert, lightning ready to strike in the forest, along other things. These all serve as obstacles to you as the player. Once you get past the visuals, there is a solid golf game here to play by yourself or with friends. Mario Golf does do a good job at introducing some basic concepts for the novice player, while giving more experienced players a variety of nuanced details to help master their shot. Much like a Mario Party, this game can be fun when played alone, but excels in local multiplayer. The times I did play multiplayer always stands out to me as some of my favorite moments while playing the game. Considering that all the modes minus battle mode use the same selection of courses, albeit with some slight differences in the case of adventure mode, it would have been nice to have an even bigger selection of maps to choose from as well as playable characters. I found myself enjoying the decent selection of options per game mode, but was disappointed by the realization of how few game modes there were for me to explore. The three main game modes you are presented with are Standard, Speed, and Battle. Standard Golf is about what you'd expect, in that you and at least one other player have to try to sink your ball in the hole in as few swings as possible. Speed Golf takes that same concept and throws in the element of time, giving you an emphasis on efficiency over perfection. You don't want to waste any time, but you have to control the urge to rush each shot, resulting in a shot that could potentially do you more harm than good. In each of the modes, you do have the option to include special moves, a unique super-powered move that each character has to increase the range and accuracy of a shot, while playing a cool animation to feel epic. Really, the only thing that hampered some of my enjoyment in this mode was the unnatural and clunky movement system. To make things worse, most of the adventure mode and battle mode also utilize this flawed system to get around each course. Speaking of battle mode, the basic concept takes Speed Golf and expands it to include destructive ways to interfere with other players. So now, not only do you have to manage time, but you also have to avoid being screwed up by incoming fire. I do feel like this mode can be a little too chaotic for my liking, but I can see what the developers were going for. The inclusion of an adventure mode is an interesting one for me. Your selected Mii character goes on an adventure to work your way up through the ranks with your friends Toadette, Boo, and Charge and Chuck. This mode serves as a competent tutorial to teach you the basics as well as give you more advanced concepts you can take with you outside of the mode. There is also an RPG element to this mode, with your character leveling up from experience points between each event you participate in, win or lose. This sense of progression did give me the desire to continue my ascension from novice to pro status. You'll find yourself visiting several hubs before each competition with a different theme to coincide with the courses. Each location has a nice aesthetic, while not really offering the player anything extra in terms of gameplay, serving more as a tunnel between courses and dialogue boxes than anything else. The story does take a weird turn part of the way through, focusing more on saving the world than becoming a great golfer. Maybe young children will enjoy this save the world approach to the story, but I found it a little off-putting in a game about golf. I would have rather gone all in on the development of my character through intense and varied competitions, but that's just me. Overall, I feel the adventure mode gave me some fun varied spins on the basic mechanics of the game, but I often found myself scratching my head and asking myself why. If you want to learn more of the ins and outs about the game, I'd recommend playing the adventure mode for a minute, but outside of that, there isn't anything to see here. Couple other things I'll mention. My experience with the online in this game has been pretty bad. I have to give the disclosure, I don't have the best internet, but I will say compared to other Switch titles, this game has struggled. For me, the only mode worth playing was the standard golfing, but your mileage may vary on that depending on your connection. Another thing is the motion controls. I have fond memories of playing Wii Sports Golf back in 2008. After playing this game, however, I realized I may have been looking back at those memories with nostalgia, because the motion controls in this game are a bit of a mess. As I mentioned in my first impressions video, similar to the motion controls in Mario Kart 8, there may be a handful of people who enjoy swinging the Joy-Cons around, and may even be good at it, but I think most players will stick with button controls due to the lack of precision motion controls can give you. To put a score on this game, I'm using a 10-point scoring system with half-point intervals. 10 would be perfect, 1 is trash. I'm gonna give Mario Golf Super Rush a 6.5. Hopefully this video gives you an idea on whether or not Mario Golf Super Rush is for you. I don't know if I'd recommend this game at full price, but if you can find it for a good deal, I think it's worth your time. I did have fun with a lot of the time I spent playing this game, but as I've gone over in this video, there is a persistent lack of polish throughout. Let me know in the comments section if you've picked up Mario Golf, and if so, what your thoughts are. And as always, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, see ya!